What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. And Target went woke and has never recovered. In fact, the company is in free fall. Its stock is in free fall. And in this latest report, Target has sunk to a new low as customers are fleeing in droves, forcing their bosses into drastic moves. And their drastic moves just aren't working. Including other reports, insiders reveal that Target's self-inflicted destruction. I mean, everything is, look, do I think Target's going to close tomorrow? Probably not. But they've clearly overplayed their hand. They've alienated enough of their customers. And after this, holiday season, I would argue that this is probably not a good sign for Target. Let's check in on it. By the way, Thanksgiving's coming up. Black Friday's coming up. There's still time for you to show up at your Thanksgiving, or if you're hosting, do me a favor. If you're going somewhere, bring some coffee with you. No one's going to think of it, and everyone's going to be pumped that you brought some coffee. And I've got 3 great suggestions for dessert coffee. Our strawberries and cream, our spiked jack-o'-lantern, or our blackberry cream are all amazing dessert coffees, and they all ship free overnight from coffeebrandcoffee.com. Link in the description. If you like K-Cups, if you don't know if they have a regular coffee maker, but they have a K-Cup, I recommend our butterscotch toffee, our strawberries and cream, or our blueberry coffee, our blueberry cobbler there as well. Absolutely delicious, free shipping. So when you're comparing pricing to other coffees out there, especially my competitors, mine ships for free and overnight. So, factor that in, and hopefully you can get a few people hooked on the coffee. Target sinks to new low as customers flee in droves, forcing bosses into drastic move. Now let's look at their stock. This is their stock over the last month. This is the stock over the last day. It's down billions of dollars in the last month. Billions and billions and billions of dollars over the last month. And this is not a good sign for, when people are looking at, we might be leading into a recession. Here's 6 months. They had a little bit of recovery back in August, and now it's just been nothing but bad ever since. They were at over $100 a share. Now they're at $84 a share. Just massive loss after massive loss. Inflation-weary shoppers are steering clear of Target's messy, understaffed stores. On Wednesday, Target's slump comes from a 4-headed monster. Shabby stores, sinking staff morale, jittery investors, and leadership shakeups waiting in the wings. Well, I would say that a lot of this would have been solved if you didn't sell tuck-friendly swimsuits for kids. When you piss off half of the country and they don't shop there anymore, that seems like it would have an effect, right? And the pain isn't ending anytime soon. Executives warned that the sales slump will drag straight through the critical holiday shopping season. To stop the bleeding, Target is throwing another $1 billion at store remodels and new locations next year, bringing the multi-year facelift tab to $5 billion. Bosses hope the massive investment will finally jolt the chain out of its prolonged funk. Independent analysts say the overhaul is not only welcome, but is years late. Stores are not optimized for the consumer, Neil Saunders said, a retail expert for Global Data said. There are too many out of stocks, too much mess, not enough assistance at registers, so forth. Well, that's what happens, right? When I would say like the quintessential horrible retail experience is Home Depot. I don't know if you've ever been there or if you're one of my international viewers, if you even have Home Depots. Home Depot is basically like a home goods store. So you need like screws, drywall, wood, faucets, electrical stuff, anything for the house, they have it. Christmas decorations, all this kind of stuff, landscaping material. The store is probably the biggest store we have in America, like physically square footage. And there at times is probably 3 people working. So if you walk into that store and you need anything, good luck. And by the way, if you find something, do you know what they actually do? If you're like, hey, I was looking for this like 3mm washer, and I had to be plastic. It was for an ice machine. I was trying to save it because it was like one of those little pellet ice makers my wife really liked. And I was like, well, I took it all apart. I'm like, it looks like this bushing is bad. So maybe well, of course they didn't have it, but they said, you know what they did? They just looked it up on the internet. They just looked it up on the internet while I stood there like an idiot. And like, well, here, it says on the internet we have some in aisle, whatever, whatever. I'm like, well, I could have done that. Thanks a lot, LaQuisha. And I just moved on with my day. I mean, there's nobody there that knows anything. Now, I don't know if you need that same level of expertise or whatever at Target, but a lot of this has been, a lot of this started when they got woke. I mean, look at March 2025. They were at $143 a share. It's now at $80 a share. Investors have punished Target stock recently, sending it down 43% over the past year. Shares are down nearly 3% before Wednesday's even opened, which again, we said is down, it's down 2.25% right now. Now pressure lands squarely on incoming CEO Michael Fidelki, a 20-year company veteran who takes over from Brian Cornell on February 1st. He faces a mandate to restore Target's identity as a destination for affordable but stylish goods, a lane Walmart has firmly seized. We may see stabilization next year, but it will take some time to grow beyond that in sales. They need a complete overhaul of operations and culture to get back on track. Well, again, selling tuck-friendly swimsuits and books about kids transitioning gender, all this kind of stuff, that is not going to endear you to the conservative shopper, which, quite frankly, is probably more than half of your customers. At least half, obviously, but probably more than half. Target, meanwhile, has also been hacking away at costs. In October, it said it would cut 1,800 corporate jobs, roughly 8% of its white-collar workforce, to speed up decision-making and reignite growth. To pump up sales during the holidays, Target is offering more than 20,000 new items, twice as many as last year, and it has lowered prices on thousands of food and beverage essentials items. Now, I don't really know who grocery shops at Target. I mean, when I was on vacation and I wanted like snacks and liquor for my hotel because it was like crazy expensive, I guess I went to Target for that, but that's only because it was right across the street from the hotel and I didn't know where else. I was in Hawaii. I'd never been there before. I certainly would have preferred to go to Walmart or something like that. We have high but achievable aspirations for Target's future, but Target also announced yesterday a partnership with OpenAI that will let users browse Target items through the company's app, ChatGPT. When customers are ready to buy, they'll be directed to the Target app. Still, Target is wildly profitable. The company made $689 million the past 3 months, but the growth slump stands in stark contrast to its biggest rivals. Walmart has been thriving and will report its last quarterly results on Thursday, today, which it did, and it was up. And Walmart's stock is up because of it, if I remember correctly. I used to own Walmart stock. Now I own no stock because I couldn't handle the stress. Walmart is up 7% today. And over the last month, would have probably been a good time to invest, I guess. People got nervous. And look at the top comment. Maybe tuck sales will save their Christmas holiday. Go woke, go broke has taken down another company. It was nice knowing you, Target. Can't stand all the migrants that work there. Barely a real citizen. I mean, maybe they should have paid attention. Maybe they should have been more concerned, with, seeing America for what it is and for who we are, and saying that we didn't want tuck-friendly swimsuits. Now, your profit margins obviously are fine, but your stock is down nearly 50%, which is billions in market cap. Nobody wants to go to the store that sells woke propaganda. You see this like Target is so iconic that it's frequently earned playful ribbing on Saturday Night Live, but where once skits poked fun as its red bullseye branding and attempted having a cool mom aspirational vibe, the skits have taken a darker turn in recent years, with comics zeroing in on Target's clumsy navigation of America's culture wars. In one 2023 sketch, cast members joked that Target had put diversity training on aisle 5 and that the store's new slogan was "Expect more, offend everyone." Another gag had employees confused about whether they were supposed to stock shelves or hand out pronoun badges. With all good comedy comes a basis in fact, and picking apart the chain's divisive diversity and pride merchandise shows that the chain's golden days are well and truly behind it. Brian Cornell, who had helmed Minneapolis-based retailer for 11 years, had announced that he will step down at the end of January, leaving behind a company grappling with sliding sales, disenchanted shoppers, and a battered reputation. Target report a staggering $227 million drop in sales in April to June quarter, alongside plunges in profits, the latest blow to 18 months of weak performance. Neil Saunders, managing director of global data, didn't mince word. The decline is nearly entirely self-inflicted, he pointing at empty shelves, endless checkout lines, and irate customers. Well, yeah. I mean, that, and like, again, we don't care about the culture war. We care about, whether or not you're interested in, propagandizing to our kids. I hope, someone posted a video showing mountains of stock with staff accusing executives of leaving stores understaffed while expecting spotless departments. I hope these videos go viral and people in corporate might rethink. They do have empty stores. They absolutely do have. Target staff panics about store closures and job losses after cultural madness led to huge sales slump. We are cooked. They got into the culture war and it destroyed their company. They should have just kept doing what they did well, and I couldn't be happier for their downfall. I hope you enjoyed this video. Look at the comment. DEI, gay clothing line, gender neutral, whatnots. I stopped shopping at Target as well. Good. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will instead shop from a company that does not get involved in politics. We're literally called coffeebrandcoffee.com for that reason. High quality, roasted fresh on demand coffee. Bring it to Thanksgiving this year, and we'll talk to you again real soon.